You too. Well, all right. First of all, I just want to say thank you for having me, and I really do appreciate uh, when you asked me to talk about Hawaii because that is one of my favorite places in the entire world. And the problem is I can talk and never shut up when I talk about Hawaii because I really do love it. I always say take it all in because when you go to Hawaii, it's so amazing. I just stand there and I really do try to take it all in. So a little bit about Delta Vacations. Obviously, we've been in the tour operator business for more than 50 years, and Delta, of course, we are owned by Delta Airlines. We really do value our partnership with the professionals at Uniglobe Travel Designers. They are truly professionals, and I'm confident that Delta Vacations, along with the professionals there, can provide you with a very memorable getaway. Not only do we do Hawaii, but just to put a little plug in for ourselves, we do hotels, about 5,000 hotels around the world using Delta Airlines and our SkyTeam partners. So I'm here, of course, to talk about Hawaii, and I can't say how beautiful it is. I can't get enough of Hawaii. And of course, Delta Vacations and Uniglobe Travel Designers can get you there. Now, I'm going to talk today a little bit like kind of before the virus. Obviously, things are a little different now, and the way to stay current, because they can change every day, is to talk to the professionals at Uniglobe Travel Designers because they can give you the most update information, okay? Some of my friends always just say to me that Hawaii is a dream to them. And oh my goodness, I respond very quickly by saying, don't just dream it. Uniglobe Travel Designers, the professionals there, can get you to Hawaii. We have a very flexible and minimal deposit, and you can make payments as you go. So really, you need to make Hawaii a reality because it is such a beautiful place. Before the virus, obviously, there are schedule changes now, and the lift isn't available as it would normally be, but we know that we're going to return to normalcy soon because people want to vacation and they want to travel. But we do have flights into Honolulu from Atlanta, Detroit, New York, LA, Minneapolis, Seattle, and Salt Lake. We had flights into Kauai even out of LA and Seattle. And of course, coming from the Columbus area, you would connect in either Atlanta, Detroit, or Minnie, or Seattle, or Salt Lake, and go right on into Honolulu. There are inter island flights that will get you to the other islands in Hawaii. And I do have a friend that he goes to Hawaii about every other year and has for about 20 years. I kind of talked him into going to Hawaii for the first time, and he loves it as much as I do, but he doesn't like long flights. So what he does is he stops in LA, or he stops in Vegas, or he stops in Seattle, and maybe in Vegas he wants to do a little gambling for a couple of days before he continues on to Honolulu, which you absolutely can do at any of these locations. Or if you want, I certainly recommend you take advantage of our special pricing for our Delta One or first class, because it is like sitting in your lazy boy for the evening and watching television, and then voila, you're in Hawaii. So the Aloha State is really paradise. The culture, the temperature, the colors, the turquoise water, everything about Hawaii is absolutely beautiful. And like I said, I can't get enough of the place. Why do people choose Hawaii? Well, actually, it's pretty incredible. It's exotic. It's in the US. There's no passports required. There's no language barrier. There's no currency exchange. It's it's more than just a resort destination. It's an experience that you can get into a car and you can drive all around and feel very safe. There's mom and pop restaurants. There's very high-end Hawaiian cuisine restaurants, or there's hot dog stands. Whatever you want, you're going to be able to find. Hawaii really is a year-round destination. It's pretty consistent temperature-wise, maybe varying about only 15 degrees. We have accommodations there that can certainly accommodate the high-end luxury clients. We have condos, and we have some budget properties too, if that's what your clients want. Hawaii really is a family vacation destination. If you ask people where their dream vacation is, you know, I figure 8 out of 10 people are going to say Hawaii right off the bat. Hawaii is so popular. And 20% of the people that go, it's like they take their children, or maybe it's a multi-generational trip where you have the grandfather and grandmother and the kids and the grandchildren. It's a very active destination if that's what you want. Of course, it's on, I think, everybody's bucket list. The culture, the arts. If you want a destination wedding, it's perfect for a destination wedding. If you're a golfer, there's golfing. There's all kinds of outdoor activity. So it really is a very popular destination. And along with that is the natural beauty. It's beyond belief. Like I said, I have to take it all in, and I just can't get enough. The sunsets, the water, the rainforest, the waterfalls, it's just beautiful. And the Hawaiian culture, honestly, there's so much to be said about the Hawaiian culture. It really teaches us lessons, kind of peace and kindness and compassion, and certainly the responsibility to the future generations of the land. They're very much about the land. I can't say enough about the Hawaiian culture. I love to read about it. I love to go to the museums when I'm there. And of course, the culture is displayed everywhere. The spirit of aloha, I can't even explain this to you, but you know what? Once you go, you will understand. It's really, aloha is associated with hello and goodbye, but it really means, again, love, compassion, kindness, and grace. And literally, the Hawaiian definition is the presence of divine breath. The people in Hawaii are just phenomenal. They're nice, they're gentle spirits. I love the people there as well as the culture. So the Hawaiian Islands, actually there's about 132 islands there, and these are, they're the longest island chains in the world. They're like 1,500 miles long, but what you see are 6 of the 8 islands that are tourist destinations. Of course, most of the flights are going to fly right into Honolulu. Some of the flights do go into Maui at one time, and even into Kauai at one point. Again, we will wait until this virus is over and see how they start to come back and things play out. There's a ferry service from Maui to Lanai as well. And then, of course, going to the other islands, there's inter-island air, which we certainly can put into your vacation package to get you from island to island. Now, all of these islands, there's such diversity in all of them. Like the big island of Hawaii, you know, you have the black sand beaches, the volcanoes, the coffee farms. There's 2 sides of that island, which is the Hilo side and the Kona side, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Then in Kauai, it's kind of, it's the garden island. It's very tropical paradise. It's what they call sometimes the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. Lanai is very authentic Hawaiian and at a very much slower pace than any of the other islands. There's golf courses there. There's only a couple of resorts there. Maui, of course, is the tropical paradise. Everybody loves Maui. It's kind of the jewel of the Pacific. And Oahu, now here in the States, we call it Oahu, but if you were in Hawaii, they would say Oahu. So that is kind of the big city. Honolulu is the big city. And of course, Molokai is going to take you back to a very simpler time. There's very few, maybe 3-star hotels there. It's not, I mean, you have to have a very good travel professional like the ones at Uniglobe Travel Designers to decide which island is going to be for you and which island that you're going to like the best. So today I don't have time to talk about all the islands, so I'm only going to talk about Oahu, Hawaii, the Big Island, and Maui. I'm going to begin in Oahu. And it's very much a vibrant mid-Pacific hub. It really is. You have Waikiki Beach going on there. You have Honolulu up in the North Shore. You have the surfers. You can drive all around the island if you don't mind the traffic. But it's very much high-rises, great shopping centers, wonderful restaurants, and of course Waikiki Beach is so much fun. It really is one of the most visited islands in Hawaii, believe it or not. People sometimes think it's Maui, but according to statistics, it is Oahu. Of course, you have the Honolulu and the Waikiki Beach there. Honolulu is the capital city. It's very diverse. Honolulu is big city with, you know, all the restaurants and the fine dining and miles of shopping and designer stores and souvenir shops. While if you travel up into the northern parts, you have the smaller towns. And it's where like a lot of the surfing competition is going on up there. So I tell my friends when they go to Oahu to stay on Kealakekua Avenue, which is right in Waikiki Beach or across the street from the beach. And you're going to pay a little bit more for the hotels there, but you know, you're right on Waikiki and you can walk all the way up and down the strip, and it's just a lot to see and so much fun and great restaurants. Most people do not rent a car in Oahu, but they will maybe rent a car for 1 or 2 days just to drive around. But you have to make sure that they don't mind driving in traffic, because Honolulu is going to be a lot of traffic there. Of course, you can't go to Oahu without going to the USS Arizona Memorial. This is a pretty incredible place. I sometimes take travel professionals to what we call destination training trips. And I honestly, when I take them into the USS Memorial, there is never a dry eye when we leave. When you first walk in, it's you see a movie about the attack on Pearl Harbor. And then you are taken on ferries out to the memorial where people are, you know, the soldiers are in their underwater graves. And it's just sad after you've seen the movie and you see the attack and you know that they're down there. It's a memorial to them, and it's like I said, there aren't many people that leave with a dry eye. And if you have driven there, actually Delta Vacations does have a tour that will take you there. But if you decide you want to rent a car and you want to drive there, you also want to take a few minutes and just stop by the Aloha Stadium swap meet. Now, I know this sounds like pretty low scale, but let me tell you, it really is fun. I have bought at the swap meet handmade wood carvings by some of the local artisans. I've bought Hawaiian honey. I've bought handcrafted Hawaiian jewelry. There's like over 400 booths there. There's a small fee to get in, and I've never gotten through the whole thing. It's so big. Again, all of the size could change after the virus. We'll have to see how it plays out, but it's just right across the street from the USS Arizona Memorial. So I think you should definitely make a stop there. Of course, Waikiki Beach there's always something going on. Walk up and down the beach. I'll tell you, the funniest time I had at Waikiki Beach was actually Halloween night. Everybody dresses up, everybody, and the costumes are absolutely amazing what you see there. I actually saw a woman that had really like acrylic high heels that had live fish in them. It was pretty incredible. And then of course Diamond Head. Everybody wants to hike Diamond Head. It's something to see. It's a really, really cool place. Kaka'ako is like an area that's it's kind of the newer commercial and retail district of Honolulu. There's all kinds of vibrant food scene, I guess you could maybe kind of say, in that area. There's farmers markets, there's coffee, there's all kinds of retail. Kind of fun to walk through there and see all the fashions and all the things there are to spend your money on. So history and culture, let's talk a little bit about the Bishop Museum and the Iolani Palace. That Bishop Museum is, it's the State Museum of Natural and Cultural History. It's really the largest museum in all of Hawaii, and it really has a nice collection of Polynesian cultural artifacts. Iolani Palace I absolutely love, because I'm always about palaces. No matter where I am, if there's a palace, I'm going to go see it. But the Iolani Palace was a royal palace of the rulers of the Kingdom of Hawaii, beginning with King Kamehameha III. And then I think it ended when Queen Liliuokalani she was the last royalty in that building. They actually changed it, and it became like a government building up until 1978, when the palace was restored and opened to the public as the original palace. It's really, really very wonderful to see. I talked a little bit about going up to the North Shore. It's really has that surfer culture up there. You know, it's really home to a lot of surfing competitions. You can dine at the shrimp trucks that are all parked all around. And of course, shaved ice cream shaved ice is a feature in Haleiwa up there. The Polynesian Cultural Center, I love this. It's about 42 acres, and it's all about dance and music and performances that kind of celebrate the culture of Polynesia. Believe it or not, there have been 37 million visitors there since it opened up in 1963. It's really fun to do. Oh, the Kailua Private Nature Reserve. I actually took this tour the last time I was there. And ironically, last weekend, I watched 50 First Dates with Drew Barrymore for about the umpteenth million times, because I think that movie is so cute. But this is where it was filmed, and you can see where they filmed Jurassic Park and Godzilla. We did it on the ATV tours, but you can do the horseback riding and zip lining. All of these tours are offered through Delta Vacations, and the people, of course, at Uniglobe Travel Designers can certainly help you get that taken care of. The accommodations in Oahu, we really have a lot of different hotels, again, going all the way down to 2-star and up to the ultimate luxury. The Waikiki Beachcomber by Outrigger is, it's kind of been redone. It's right on Kalakaua Avenue. It's just right on Waikiki Beach. It's very, very close to the Royal Hawaiian Shopping Center. It has a lot of local art that's infused throughout the building. It's really very nice. Has a real island vibe, and it has very nice rooms with really nice ocean views. At this property is where you can see the Magic of Polynesia show at night, and it's really a fun show. The Queen Kapiolani Hotel is, it was kind of newly transformed within the last couple of years. They have redone it. It's close to the Diamond Head crater. It's only about a block away from Diamond Head, I should say. It's just about a block away from Waikiki Beach. and it's very close on that end to like the Kapiolani Park and Honolulu Zoo and Waikiki Aquarium. It's within walking distance, and there's of those areas, and it's a very nice area for a family vacation. Espacio is the jewel of Waikiki. Now this is ultimate luxury. It is world-class hospitality. There are 9 suites in this property that are all very unique, and they're very personalized. Each suite offers a 2 or 3 bedroom accommodations, and they occupy the entire floor so that you have complete privacy. I think this is a lot of celebrities stay here. It comes with butler service, and there's a rooftop infinity pool and sun deck, and you really feel like royalty at this property. The Outrigger Waikiki Beach Resort. Now I had to mention this one because this is like one of my favorites. It's a 4-star property, but it's right on Waikiki Beach. It's big. There's 524 rooms with balconies, and some of them have a great ocean view room. But what is so fun about this property is where it's located. You can walk all up and down Waikiki Beach, but there is a nice little restaurant down below right on the ocean called Duke's, and once you go to Duke's, you'll go every day. The restaurant is absolutely wonderful, and in the evening it's so much fun. It's hopping fun, and of course they have that famous hula pie that everybody wants when they go to Waikiki Beach. So remember that you have to eat at Duke's. I have to tell you this quickly. The last time I was there, they have a breakfast lunch buffet. Whether that will continue or not, I'm not sure, but they had it, and everybody talks about it. It was very, very popular. So of course I ate until I, was trying to figure out how I was going to waddle back to my room, and that was my main concern. And I didn't realize until I got home that I had forgotten to pay my bill. So I'm very good friends with the rep from the Outrigger. So I called her and I said, Cindy, oh my goodness, I left Duke's and I did not pay for my meal. She forgave me, so it all worked out. But Duke's restaurant, you have to make sure you try it. The island of Hawaii is the big island. And of course, this is a map, kind of shows you exactly where it is. It's larger than all of the other islands combined. The big island is not so crowded. You can drive all around. This is where you're going to see the black sand beaches and the Volcanoes National Park. I have to tell you a story about the big island. There's 2 sides. There's the Kona and the Hilo side. The Hilo side is very rainy, has rainforest. It rains every day. Not all the time, but it rains every day. And the Kona side is bright and sunny, and the white sand beaches, and that's where all the hotels. There's a couple, I think, on the other side, on the Hilo side. But I happened to be there, and I was by myself, and I was getting an ice cream, and I sat down outside, and there were 2 couples, and they seemed to be really disappointed. I was listening to them about their Hawaii trip, and so I mildly interjected, because being in the business that I am, I wanted to know why they were not having a good time. And they said, well, we got online and we rented a house, and it's rained every day we've been here. And I said, where is your house? And they told me where it was. Well, it's on the Hilo side, where it's going to rain every day. And this is why it's so important to talk to the travel professionals at Uniglobe Travel Designers, because they can tell you. When I told the people that's the way that side of the island was, that they needed to travel every day to the other side of the island, which was a little distance, they said, yeah, they realized that they didn't talk to the professionals to get that advice. So that's why on the big island of Hawaii, you really need to know kind of what you're doing before you go over there. Of course, that's where the Volcanoes National Park is. Currently no lava flow. I just looked it up this morning, but there's hiking trails in the Volcano House, hotel, and restaurant. A lot of people stay on the Kona side, but then they might go one day over to that side to go to the volcanoes and see the volcanoes and stay at the Volcano House. Or they'll stay either on the Hilo side. There's a couple hotels there. Of course, the Kilauea Summit, this was like in April of 2018, the eruption. I don't know if you remember that or not, but this is kind of before and after pictures. So it looks a little bit different after July of 2018. There are helicopter adventures that can take you all through the volcanoes, national park. You can see everything, and the people at Uniglobe Travel Designers can set that up for you. There are coffee farms all throughout the island, so everybody comes back with all kinds of coffee. I think you can buy it maybe at Trader Joe's now, or even I've seen it a little bit maybe at TJ Maxx, but the Kona coffee is really good coffee, and of course, you want to bring that back home with you when you come. And there's also chocolate factories there too with the really good chocolate. We have the snorkeling tours that you can do at Kealakekua Bay, and that is supposed to be, I have not done the snorkeling there, but they tell me that you can see like 100 feet into the water. The east side, oops, let me back up one. I think I missed one. Yeah, on the east side is what I was telling you about, where the lush rainforests are. It doesn't mean that it's not beautiful over there, because it is, but it rains every day because look how lush it is. There's beautiful waterfalls, Akaka Falls. I think that's a picture right there of Akaka Falls, which is beautiful to see. That's one of many waterfalls that are over there that you can see on the east side. The accommodations on the Big Island of Hawaii, on the left of the screen is going to be on the Kona side, whereas not the rainy side. And then the two we have are going to be on the Hilo side, which again is the rainy side. But beautiful properties there. One of them is the Fairmont Orchid, which is an absolutely luxurious hotel. It's about 540 rooms right on the beach. They have private balconies, they have a full service spa, fitness and tennis center, heated pools, and they have a beautiful swimming lagoon area. It's very close to a golf course, so if you are golfers, that you can stay there and enjoy the golfing as well. The Hilton Waikoloa Village, now I'm going to tell you, my kids love this property because we've gone there for years ago. My kids are older now, but years ago we've gone there, and it is big. It is a huge property. It's I think it's like 62 acres maybe, but my kids could lose me there, and they could lose us parents, and I think that was the ideal situation for them, is to get rid of the parents. So it's so big that if you don't mind something big, you can walk forever and take walks and see the whole property, but otherwise you see that train, you're kind of taken around by train, and the ferry boat that is there as well. So you have to get on one of those to go down to like the dining area, but the rooms are beautiful. Again, it's very tropically landscaped, and a very, very beautiful property, but very big. The Wanalani, oh my gosh, I love this property. It is kind of timeless elegance is how I would describe this property. It's kind of old Hawaiian, but very elegantly done, and it's very exquisite. There's a golf course next to this as well. They have all kinds of water sports, but you know what's so funny about this property is when you enter the property, there's like a wooden plank that you step on, that you walk. It's maybe like a wooden bridge that goes over, like there's two koi ponds on each side of this bridge where you go up to check in, and it's hilarious. You know, the koi fish are so beautiful anyway. They're gold and they're spotted and they're white, and they follow you like little puppies when you're walking up that plank. They think you're going to throw food into them, and they just follow you like little puppies. Or if you go sit on on the bench by the pond, they'll congregate there because they think you're going to throw food into them. So it's a beautiful property, and the kids love the koi pond. So now we're going to skip over to Maui. And this is where Maui is located in relation to all of the other islands. I don't know if you've heard this or not, but Maui no ke oi, which means Maui is the best, or Maui is number one. And lots of people do like Maui. I have to say Maui is probably one of my favorite islands, and Oahu too. But we have Kapalua, of course, to the north, and Kahanapali, and then Lahaina in the middle. And this is kind of on the west side of the island. Whalers Village is in a shopping area there. Then you get down to the Kihei and the Wailea and the Makena areas. But in that northernmost point of Maui is really where you're going to see the whales from December until, well, probably early January until April. It's a great place to see the whales. Maui is pretty laid back, but it's commercial, but you can still drive around and see all the little towns and see all the beaches where all the locals are gathering to swim. And of course, Lahaina is the old Whalers Village town. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But exploring Haleakala Crater is, you can drive there yourself if you want. Now, again, we'll have to see what is going to happen after the virus, how they're going to handle this, but you have to make advance reservations to go up there for the sunrise self-drive option. Otherwise, you can take one of the helicopter tours to get up to Haleakala Crater. The road to Hana is fun. I actually have done it twice. I think people really do it one time, and one time is, once you've seen it, that's probably about all you want to do. But I did it 2 times because I was with somebody else that had never seen it before. But it's 52 miles. And okay, I looked this up today. 617 curves and 54 one-lane bridges. So even though you think it's 52 miles and you could probably get there in an hour, it's more like a 3 to 4 hour drive one way. But you really have to see it. Oh my goodness, you see the waterfalls, and I mean, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So it's called the Road to Hana. Yeah, and if you want to cheat and do it the fast way, you can do a helicopter. And of course, the people at Uniglobe can help you get that arranged. I told you I would talk a little bit more about exploring Lahaina town. I love Lahaina. Everybody loves Lahaina. It's the old whalers village where the whalers used to come in and they would congregate there, but there's all kinds of shops and restaurants. There's luau's, there's dinner cruises, Bubba Gump's is there. Hilo Hattie's, which is the big souvenir shop that everybody knows about, is located in Lahaina town.
How do I mute me?
And Molokini Crater, I have not done this, but they tell me that everything is spectacular there. The reefs and the colors of the coral is absolutely beautiful, and all the sea life is absolutely beautiful in this Molokini Crater. Okay, so Drums of the Pacific. Now I know everybody has their own opinion of which luau they like the best, but I've probably seen Drums of the Pacific, I would say more than 20 times. Every time I go there, I have to see it. It's actually held, this luau is held at the Hyatt, and it's not just a dance of the culture of Hawaii, but it's the whole Polynesian district. I mean, the dance of Samoa and Fiji and New Zealand and Tahiti and what am I missing? Tonga and Rarotonga. And it's the whole Polynesian culture. It's and the fire eating. It's one of the best luau's there. Now, obviously, you can do. I think there's a luau called Lahaina Town Luau, and I think there's one at the Royal Lahaina Hotel. But to me, the Drums of the Pacific is the best, and I really would recommend you see that. Whale watching, December through April. I think it's more like January through April. You might see a few late December, but we do offer whale watch cruises that you can book and go out and watch the whales. I remember once being up at the Ritz-Carlton, which is up in the Kapalua area in the northern part, and I did have agents there, and the general manager of the hotel, the Ritz-Carltons, had made reference to the ocean. So everybody immediately looked out to the ocean, and it was almost as though it was like somebody turned the switch, like it was supposed to happen this way. A whale comes up and breaches, a mama whale, and she came down, and of course water was splashing everywhere. She was huge. And then a second later, her baby came up and breached, and everybody was just in awe. So great place up in that northern area to see whales if you're into whale watching. Upcountry Maui is, again, up in that Kapalua area, but you know, there's all kinds of farms and ranches and vineyards even, and just charming little towns, really on the slopes of Haleakala. So a lot to see up there, especially if you're driving. You're going to want to go up to there. There is that, I saw the goats there and just happened to remember there's what they call the surfing goat dairy. So I think you can go there and buy goat products, and there's a winery up there, all kinds of things to do in upcountry Maui. And of course, we do have the air adventures that can get you and take you all around Maui as well. And the accommodations in Maui, we have a lot. Again, everything down to a 2-star, and in all of the areas that I mentioned about Maui. The MDAS Maui Wailea Resort is a 5-star property, and if you can just look at that picture, when you walk into this open air lobby, you're looking down over 4 cascading pools that just lead right out to the ocean. The lady comes over with her iPad, and a waiter will hand you a couple of drinks. And you don't stand at any counter or table to check in. She checks you in on your little iPad. Your room is ready to go, and somebody takes your luggage to the room. You are pampered from the moment you walk into that property. Everything is high end. It is beautiful. It is luxurious. And you can't see me, but I really was there under that little umbrella is where I had my first lobster grilled cheese sandwich. And I can't tell you how good it was. It was excellent. The Hyatt Regency is actually where that Drums of the Pacific luau is held. And I love this property too. This property has I'm really into art and into paintings, and there are so many paintings that are the Hawaiian paintings that are throughout this property. It's absolutely beautiful. It's very well landscaped. There are exotic birds. There are peacocks walking around. Like I said, there's an extensive art collection. There's a pool. There's kind of a little kiddie playground pool with water fountains, and of course an oceanfront spa. And the food is really good at this property too. Now, it doesn't mean that when you go to Hawaii that you have to eat at the hotel that you're staying. If you have a car, you can drive all around. Like I said, you can find hot dogs, or you can find fine dining. Whatever you're looking for, you're able to find it in Hawaii. The Wailea Beach villas are they're kind of tropical grounds with waterfalls, pretty pristine beach area, jacuzzi, children's pool. This is a really nice family family villa. There's 2 or 3 bedroom villas where you can stay, and it's a really nice property. The Makena Surf Resort, again, a very nice property. Kind of have bungalow style villas, and they have really nice views of the ocean from these villas, fully equipped kitchens. And let me tell you something about the villas and the condos in all of Hawaii. I would say most of them are privately owned, and they're put into a rental pool through the HOA at that condominium section. So if you have somebody that go, just so that you understand, if you go and you like that property, you might say, I'm going to go back the next year and don't expect the same furnishings on the inside. I think they are given guidelines, but they can pick their own furnishings. So you might not have a room that looks exactly like it did the time you stayed before, but they are very stringent and make sure that the rooms are very kept, the condos are very kept, otherwise they can't be placed into the rental pool. So just keep that in mind so that you're aware of that. And the Polo Beach Club, again, this is kind of a little hidden gem down on the Wailea coast. It has about 71 units, 2-bedroom residence, and beachfront pool. Again, very, very nice for family accommodations. So all I can say about Hawaii is when you go, you just want to stand and take it all in. So everybody who goes to Hawaii will understand that spirit of aloha, and they leave with an impact of knowing Hawaii. And they can also, same can be said for the islands too. You leave that impact there as well. So when you go to Hawaii, you want to make sure that you share the aloha and share the aloha when you return. I will see you in beautiful Hawaii. Thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate your interest in Hawaii.
Great job, Rebecca. I want to go to Hawaii.
I want to go.
I know. Every time I do something on Hawaii, I am ready to go. I'm ready to go. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I can't say enough about it. So, if you have any questions, let the people at Uniglobe Travel Designers know. I know they can be able to assist you, and of course we're going to be with them every step of the way, making sure that you have a wonderful vacation.
Thank you so much. At this time, I know I muted everyone for the presentation, but feel free to unmute and ask any questions you may have, or you can type it in the chat box too if you're more comfortable doing that. But I want to ask you, Rebecca, if someone asked you if you could go back but you could only visit one island, what is your favorite island? Like, if you could only go to one, which one would you personally go to?
That's really difficult, but I'm going to have to say my 2 favorites are Oahu and Maui. Oahu, I just think you have to see the USS Memorial, USS Arizona. I just think that's a must when you go. And of course, and then Maui is so beautiful. So both of those, if I had to pick between both of those, oh gosh, it's such a toss up, but I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay. What was you mentioned a bunch of tours too. I was just curious. And I know it's different. It depends on everyone's like personal interests or whatever, but to you personally, what was like your favorite tour? Like, what is a tour that you would like recommend that people absolutely do if they could only do one?
Okay, obviously the USS Memorial.
Okay.
And I definitely would do that. But what I would do is I would rent a car and drive there, and then I would go to the swap meet, and then I'd drive up to the North Shore. That's one tour. Over in on the on the big island of Hawaii, I would do the helicopters over the Volcanoes National Park. That is a sight to see. It's so different than anything you're ever going to see, obviously. And then in Maui, the whale watching cruise, I'm sure that would be my first pick there. I would certainly do that. So yeah, like that's covered them. So.
Okay, cool. Did anyone else have any other questions, or has anyone else been and want to share maybe some of their experiences?
Miss Rebecca, what would you recommend as far as length of stay in order to get a full experience?
You know, honestly, some people only have a week off, and to me, a week is just not long enough to be there.
Right.
I would never go for that's hard. I would go for 10 days, and I would actually spend 3 days in Oahu and 3 days in Maui and 3 days on the Big Island, or I would do 2, 2, and 4. You can kind of decide which island you think you would like the best and spend more time there. I don't want you to feel as though you're like moving around too much and you're not going to be able to take it all in. But if you've gone that far, you may as well see a few more than just one island. And I really would like to say I wouldn't stay for anything less than 10 days.
Okay. And to follow up on that, would you recommend the puddle jumpers, or would you recommend taking the ferries from island to island?
No, I would do the aircraft over to the other islands. Yeah, it's like 30 minutes and you're there. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. Anybody else?
All right. Well, Susan said, I've heard about cliff diving on Maui and want to know what is the best area for this? Watching, of course, not participating.
They do cliff diving at the Sheraton in Maui. That's kind of actually pretty neat to see, but it's pretty staged. The guy is on the cliff and then he blows the big conch horn, and then he jumps off. So that probably is the one that comes to mind most. I really can't think off the top of my head where it's anywhere else. That's the only one I can remember off the top of my head right now. But that's the one I would see anyway at the Sheraton. And I'm going to tell you, at the Sheraton, a lot of people go snorkeling right by the Sheraton Hotel in Maui too. I've done this so many times with my kids. We buy popcorn and we go snorkeling, and the fish, they're just accustomed to the people being there. They eat right out of your hand. Snorkeling there.
That's so cool. Well, if anyone doesn't have any other questions, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight and using this as an opportunity to learn more about Hawaii, and we encourage you to stay connected with us. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, our email's up there. Talk to us about anything. We're here, and we have other events coming out next week. We're doing a happy hour talking about honeymoons and destination weddings, and that's going to be just a casual hangout. And then we have some other really cool ones, like different properties, Las Vegas Tourist Board. So yeah, please check it out. Thank you. And
I wanted to add something too, Allie. Check the YouTube, but we do have ones that we did in the past that are recorded on YouTube. So check those out. Costa Rica, Azamara Cruise, and there's some really good ones if you missed those.
Yep. And this will go on there too, likely. So, all right. Well, everyone have a good night.
Perfect. Tell me, Allie, when it goes on there, I want to see it.
Vacations.
Pardon me?
I said thank you, and we love Delta Vacations.
Oh,
We do.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very
so much,
much.
Rebecca.
You're very, very welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. You're awesome.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.